Have you ever arrived in a completely new country and immediately realized you packed all the wrong things? Today, we are sharing our ultimate travel secrets and funniest vacation disasters. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the English Talkshow. I'm Leo, and today we are talking about exploring the world. Maya, are you someone who loves traveling, or do you prefer staying close to home?
Hi, Leo. Well, to be honest, I absolutely love traveling, but I hate the actual process of getting there. Long airport lines, cramped airplane seats, and packing always make me feel stressed before the fun even begins.
I actually enjoy the airport vibe, but I agree, packing can be a nightmare. I am a strict believer that you should always pack light. If it doesn't fit into a small carry-on bag, it doesn't come with me.
Always pack light? That sounds impossible for me. I always bring 3 pairs of shoes just in case. My energy is usually spent trying to zip my suitcase closed the night before.
But wait, is checking a large bag actually a massive waste of money? Coming up, we're looking at how airport fees are changing and how to save your cash. So don't go anywhere. It saves so much money and time, Maya. When you land, you don't have to wait at the baggage carousel. You just walk right out into a new city and your vacation officially starts.
Baggage carousel. That's a fantastic word for our listeners. It's the moving machine where you pick up your luggage at the airport. I guess skipping that line does sound amazing.
Exactly. Traveling should be a time to relax, not a workout from carrying massive suitcases across old cobblestone streets.
You make a good point. I might need to change my packing habits for my next big trip.
Are you a beach relaxer or a city explorer? In this section, we reveal the psychological trick behind choosing your perfect holiday destination. Don't miss it. So, Leo, when you decide to go on a trip, how do you choose where to go? Are you looking for a sunny beach or an ancient city full of history? I am definitely a city explorer. I love walking down narrow streets, visiting museums, and seeing old architecture. To me, sitting on a beach all day sounds a bit boring. Boring? No way! After a very busy morning at work every day, a tropical beach is exactly what I need. I just want to hear the waves and do absolutely nothing for a whole week. I understand that. But for me, exploring a new culture is how I recharge my batteries. I love the energy of a new city, even if it makes me feel a bit tired at the end of the day. Is your dream holiday destination actually harming your mental health? Coming up, we discuss the Paris syndrome and why some tourists get disappointed. To be honest, some cities are just too crowded for me. If I take a vacation, I want to escape the noise of traffic and crowds, not jump right back into them. That is what we call a staycation, or a retreat, a place where you go specifically to hide away from the world and find some peace. Yes, a retreat sounds perfect. I am always looking forward to finding a quiet cabin in the mountains where my phone has no signal. That sounds peaceful, but I'll stick to my busy city maps and crowded street food markets for now. Think traveling is only for rich people? Think again. We are sharing the top 3 ways to see the world even if you are completely broke. Watch this. Let's talk about money, because traveling can become a bit expensive if you aren't careful. Maya, do you prefer luxury travel or do you travel on a budget?
I definitely travel on a budget. If I spent all my money on a luxury 5-star hotel, I would only be able to travel once every 5 years. I prefer traveling cheaply, so I can go more often.
I agree 100%. Traveling on a budget forces you to have more authentic experiences. You eat where the locals eat, and you use public transport instead of expensive taxis.
True, but sometimes finding cheap flights means you have to wake up at 3 a.m. As a night owl, that is my worst nightmare. It makes the start of the trip very difficult.
Are cheap airlines secretly tricking you with hidden costs? In a few seconds, we expose the traps that budget airlines use to steal your money. Those early flights are brutal, even for an early bird like me.
but the money you save can be used for fun activities or a nicer meal later in the trip.
We use the phrase hidden fees to describe extra costs, like paying for a seat or a small backpack. You think the ticket is cheap, but the final price is actually a bit expensive.
Yes, you have to read the small print very carefully. But if you know the rules, budget travel is a fantastic way to see the world without breaking the bank.
Absolutely. A cheap adventure is always better than staying at home. Are you a chronic overpacker? We are sharing the famous rolling method that will double the space in your suitcase instantly. Let's look at it. Let's go back to packing, Leo. You said you always pack light. What is your secret? How do you fit everything into a tiny backpack?
The secret is simple. Choose versatile clothes. I only pack items that can be mixed and matched easily. I also roll my clothes instead of folding them. It saves a huge amount of space.
I've heard about the rolling method. To be honest, I tried it once, but I still ran out of space because I wanted to bring 5 different jackets for a 3-day trip.
5 jackets? That is definitely not packing light. You need to remember that most places have laundromats. If your clothes get dirty, you can just wash them.
If you carry a heavy bag, you waste energy. When I travel, I want to move fast and freely, not struggle with a giant suitcase on public buses.
In English, we call those people overpackers. I confess, I am a proud overpacker. I like having options because I never know how I will feel each morning of the trip.
But carrying less stuff gives you peace of mind. It makes the journey feel much less heavy.
Maybe I will try to pack just 1 jacket next time, but I'm not promising anything. Does a perfect travel itinerary actually ruin your vacation? We discuss why planning every minute might be the biggest mistake you can make. Stay tuned. Maya, are you a meticulous planner who makes a detailed schedule for every single day, or do you just prefer to go with the flow?
I love to go with the flow. I usually book my flights and my first night's hotel, and that's it. I like the mystery of waking up and deciding what to do based on my mood.
Wow, that makes me feel nervous just thinking about it. I need an itinerary. I want to know exactly what museum I am visiting in the morning and where I am eating dinner.
But if you plan everything, you leave no room for magic. The best travel experiences I've ever had happened by pure accident because I changed my plans at the last minute.
What happens when a tourist schedule completely fails? In a moment, Leo shares his worst travel nightmare when a museum ticket caused a massive argument. To be honest, sticking to a strict schedule feels too much like a busy morning at work. Vacation should be a time to relax, not a list of tasks you have to finish.
An itinerary is the official word for a travel plan. I agree that a schedule can be intense, but it ensures you don't waste time looking for a place to eat when you are already hungry.
That is true. Getting hungry and angry is a real danger on the road. A little bit of planning is good, but too much can kill the adventure.
I guess a good compromise is a flexible itinerary. Plan the big things, but leave the afternoons free. Hotels versus hostels versus Airbnbs. Where should you actually stay to get the best experience? We break down the costs and comfort levels right now. Let's talk about where we sleep when we travel. Leo, since you are a city explorer, do you prefer traditional hotels or do you stay in local apartments?
I used to stay in hostels when I was younger because they are great if you are on a budget. But nowadays, I prefer a private apartment or a quiet hotel room where I can truly take a break.
Hostels can be very loud, but they are amazing for meeting people from different countries. To be honest, though, these days I look for boutique hotels that feel cozy and unique.
The problem is that unique places can become a bit expensive during the summer season. You have to book months in advance to find a good price.
Is renting a local apartment actually destroying the city you are visiting? Coming up, the dark side of local tourism rentals that nobody talks about. Some cities are banning local apartment rentals because they drive up prices for residents. It's an important ethical question for modern travelers to think about.
This is what we call sustainable tourism. making choices that support the local community rather than hurting it. Staying in a family-run guest house is a great alternative.
Yes, family guest houses often give you the best local tips and homemade breakfasts. It feels much warmer than a cold luxury hotel chain.
Plus, your money goes directly to a local family, which makes the trip feel much more meaningful.
Are you risking food poisoning, or are you missing out on the best flavors on earth? Today, we share the golden rules of eating street food safely. Watch this. One of the best parts of traveling is the food. Maya, are you an adventurous eater when you go abroad, or do you search for familiar food like pizza and burgers?
Oh, I am incredibly adventurous. I want to try the weirdest street food available. If I don't know the name of the dish, I am even more excited to order it.
You have a strong stomach. I am a bit more careful. If a street food stall doesn't look completely clean, I get worried about spending my vacation sick in bed.
The trick is to look for long lines of local people. If locals are standing in line during a busy morning, it means the food is fresh, delicious, and safe to eat.
Can a single local dish completely change your perspective on a country? In a few seconds, we talk about the power of food culture. Food is the easiest way to connect with a culture. Even if you don't speak the local language, smiling and enjoying a traditional meal speaks to everyone.
To be honest, my favorite travel memories always involve a specific meal, like a fresh bowl of pasta in Italy or a hot soup on a rainy day in Japan.
Exactly. Eating local food is also much cheaper. Going to tourist restaurants is always a bit expensive, and the quality is usually lower.
True. Follow the locals, and your stomach and your wallet will thank you.
Do you arrive at the airport 3 hours early or 20 minutes before the gate closes? We look at the funny psychology of airport stress next. Leo, let's talk about the airport. As an early bird, I imagine you are the type of person who arrives 3 hours before a flight just to sit at the gate and wait.
Guilty as charged. I like to have zero stress. I pass through security, buy a coffee, and read my book. It feels like my vacation starts the moment I pass security.
Wow, I am the exact opposite. I arrive at the absolute last minute. My heart is always racing as I run through the terminal. It's an exhausting way to start a trip.
That sounds terrifying. What happens if there's a long line at security? You could easily miss your flight and ruin your whole schedule.
Missing a flight because you didn't manage your time is a terrible feeling. Plus, running through an airport makes you feel a bit tired before you even board the plane.
We call that airport anxiety. It's a very real feeling for many people. For me, the long lines are what cause the stress, not the actual flying.
If you arrive early, the lines don't matter because you have plenty of time. You can take a break at a cafe and relax.
Maybe I will try arriving an hour earlier next time, just to see if my heart rate stays normal.
Are you returning from your vacation more tired than when you left? We discuss the dangerous trap of sightseeing burnout and how to avoid it. Stay tuned. When you are finally at your destination, Maya, how do you spend your days? Is your schedule packed with activities, or do you prioritize finding time to relax?
I balance both, but relaxation always wins. I might visit one monument in the morning, but the afternoon is strictly for sitting in a beautiful park or cafe and watching the world go by.
I struggle with that. Because traveling can be a bit expensive, I feel a lot of pressure to see everything. I want to visit every museum, castle, and viewpoint on the map.
But Leo, if you run around all day, you don't actually experience the city. You are just checking items off a list. That sounds like a busy morning at work, not a holiday.
Is slow travel the ultimate secret to true happiness? In just a moment, we look at the growing movement of staying in one place longer. To be honest, my favorite memories are just the slow afternoons where nothing was planned. That is when you notice the small details of local life.
This approach is called slow travel. Instead of visiting 5 cities in 1 week, you stay in one city for the whole week and truly understand it.
Yes, it lowers your stress and gives you real time to relax. Plus, you don't spend half your vacation sitting on trains or buses moving between cities.
You're right. I need to learn to slow down and stop treating my vacations like an Olympic sport. Lost passports, stolen wallets, and missed trains. Travel disasters happen to everyone. Today, we share our funniest and worst horror stories from the road. No matter how much you plan, things can go wrong. Leo, have you ever experienced a true travel disaster during one of your city trips?
Oh, absolutely. Once I lost my wallet in the middle of London. I had no cash, no cards, and no way to pay for my hotel. I had to spend a very stressful night figuring it out.
That sounds terrifying. How did you survive? Did you have a backup card hidden in your backpack, or did you have to call your family for help?
Luckily, I had a digital card on my phone, so I could still buy food. But to be honest, it taught me to always keep an emergency cash supply hidden in a separate place.
What is the absolute first thing you must do if you lose your passport abroad? Coming up, the essential emergency steps every tourist needs to know. It's in those moments that your resilience is tested. You have to stay calm, take a break from panicking, and solve the problem step by step.
In English, we say go south when a situation turns bad. My worst trip went south when my flight was delayed for 24 hours and I had to sleep on the hard airport floor.
Sleeping on an airport floor definitely makes you feel a bit tired and cranky. But looking back, those disasters usually turn into the best stories to tell your friends later.
True, a smooth trip is nice, but a crazy disaster is unforgettable.
Is making friends while traveling actually easier than making friends at home? We explore the unique psychology of the travel community next. Watch this. Maya, you mentioned that staying in hostels is great for meeting people. Do you find it easy to make friends when you are traveling abroad?
Yes, it's incredibly easy. When people are traveling, their walls are down. Everyone is open, friendly, and looking for someone to share a conversation or a meal with.
I find it a bit harder because I usually travel with a partner or a friend. When you travel in a pair, people are less likely to approach you and start a chat.
That is true. Solo travelers are like magnets for other people. If you sit alone in a hostel kitchen or a cafe with a map, someone will almost always ask where you are from.
Can a random stranger you meet on a train become a lifelong friend? In a few seconds, we share incredible stories of long-distance connections. To be honest, some of my best friends are people I met for just 2 days in a random country years ago. Social media makes it easy to stay in touch.
We call these global connections. It completely expands your worldview because suddenly you have a friend in Brazil, Japan, or Australia who can host you next time.
Exactly. It makes the world feel smaller and much more welcoming. You realize that despite our languages, we are all very similar.
That is one of the most beautiful gifts of traveling. It connects people across borders.
Should you travel alone at least once in your life? We debate the freedom of solo travel versus the safety and fun of group trips right now. Let's stay on that topic, Leo. Have you ever done a completely solo trip, or do you always prefer traveling with a companion or a group?
I've done one short solo trip, and it was an interesting experience. You have absolute freedom. You can wake up early like an early bird and change your plans without consulting anyone.
Yes, the total independence is intoxicating. If you want to spend 4 hours reading in a cafe, nobody is complaining that they are bored or want to go sightseeing.
But the downside is the loneliness, especially during dinner time. Eating a wonderful local meal alone can feel a bit empty. I prefer sharing those moments with someone I love.
Is solo travel actually dangerous for beginners? Coming up, the essential safety checklist for anyone planning their first independent trip. Also, when things go wrong, like getting lost or feeling a bit tired, you have to handle everything by yourself. There is no companion to share the burden.
We use the phrase step out of your comfort zone to describe this. Solo travel pushes you to become more independent and confident because you have no safety net.
That is definitely true. It builds character. But a group trip can also be a lot of fun if you are traveling with the right friends who share your style.
The key word is right friends. If your friends want luxury and you are on a budget, the trip can quickly become a disaster.
Are you ruining your vacation by looking at it through a phone screen? We look at the photography paradox and how to truly capture memories next. Maya, how do you capture your travel memories? Are you someone who takes thousands of photos on your phone, or do you buy traditional souvenirs?
I take a lot of photos, but I try not to live behind the lens. I prefer buying small, meaningful souvenirs, like a local postcard or a piece of handmade art from a local street market.
I am guilty of taking too many photos. Sometimes I look back at my camera roll and I have 50 pictures of the exact same building. It's a waste of storage and time.
To be honest, nobody ever looks at all those 50 photos. It's better to take just one good picture, put the phone away, and enjoy the view with your own eyes.
Are tourist souvenirs just cheap plastic trash made in factories? Coming up, we share how to find authentic local crafts on your holidays. Most airport souvenirs are cheap and mass-produced. If you want a real memory, look for something authentic that tells a story about the local culture.
This is called buying authentic keepsakes, items that hold true cultural value. I've started collecting local coffee beans from every country I visit.
Oh, I love that. It combines your morning ritual with your travel memories. Every morning you drink it, you can remember your trip.
Exactly. It brings a little piece of the adventure back into my normal daily life.
Why does returning home from a great holiday feel so depressing? Today, we share the psychological tricks to beat the post-vacation blues instantly. Sadly, every vacation must end. Leo, how do you feel when you return home from a fantastic trip and have to face a busy morning at work the next day?
Oh, it is the worst feeling in the world. We call it the post-vacation blues. You feel a bit tired, unmotivated, and you instantly start wishing you were back on the plane.
It's a difficult transition. You go from total freedom and having time to relax to schedules, alarms, and chores. Your brain feels a bit shocked by the change.
To be honest, I found a trick that helps. I always leave one extra day at home before returning to work. It gives me time to unpack, clean the house, and mentally prepare.
Interesting. Having that buffer day prevents that sudden shock. It lets you transition smoothly from tourist mode back into normal life mode without the panic.
Post-vacation blues. That is an excellent idiom for our listeners. It describes that mild sadness you feel when a holiday ends. The best cure is to immediately start planning your next trip.
Yes! Always have something to look forward to. Even if the trip is 6 months away, just looking at maps and hotels makes you feel happier.
Absolutely. The end of one journey is just the preparation for the next adventure.
We've traveled the world today. Now it's your turn. Stay tuned for our ultimate English travel challenge and find out how you can join our global community. Well, Maya, we have reached the end of our travel guide episode. We've discussed packing light, budget traps, and the beauty of meeting strangers.
It was an incredible chat, Leo. To be honest, talking about all these destinations has given me the travel bug again. I am officially looking forward to my next holiday.
Now, we want to hear from our global community of learners. In the comments below, practice your English by answering these 2 questions. Do you prefer to pack light, or are you an overpacker? Are you an early bird or a night owl when you travel?
Don't be shy. Writing a comment is the best way to move from listening to using the language. Use the phrases we practiced today, like on a budget or time to relax.
If you enjoyed this journey with us, please hit the like button and subscribe to the English Talkshow. Your support helps us keep the channel running and growing.
Turn on your notifications so you never miss a new chat. Thank you for listening, relax, and keep practicing your English every single day.
Have a wonderful day. Safe travels wherever you are, and we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.